What's the best for my hands here? I don't even know what you can see. Like where's the bottom of?
It's like your navel.
Oh, okay. My navel. Well, it's week 6, and we're talking about David this week on the run. The key verse this week is from Psalms 37:5. It says, "Commit everything you do to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will help you." Bottom line is this: I can trust God even in tough times. As we know, David went from being the hero of the story, Saul's favorite, to running from Saul because the king wanted him dead. Now that's a big transition. David tried to hide from Saul, but he wasn't safe anywhere, so he started hiding out in the caves, out in the wilderness, in the middle of nowhere. And while he's hiding, others begin coming, men who are themselves in trouble or who are in debt, who are just disconnected. And we have this kind of Robin Hood situation then, where all these people are banding together, and David becomes kind of the captain of about 400 men out in the wilderness. We see that in 1 Samuel chapter 22. Well, David and this group, he says the mighty men that were then with him, they were hiding in the wilderness for years while Saul looked for David. But the Bible says that God would not let Saul find David. Well, one day, Saul went into a cave where it just so happened that David and his men were hiding. And so David's in this cave with Saul, and David's men encouraged David to kill Saul. But David respected Saul as God's king. And so instead of that, David went forward and he secretly cut off a piece of Saul's robe. And then when Saul leaves the cave, later on, David yells from the cave to Saul to show that he had the piece of his robe, to prove to Saul that he did not want to kill him. Shortly after this, David had another opportunity to kill Saul, and he chose not to. The biggest difference between these two kings was their trust in God. David trusted God in the middle of the wilderness, that God had a plan for his life. He trusted God and he followed him. Saul disobeyed God in the past and continually tried to kill David, the person that God had chosen to be their next king. This story tells me that you can trust God in whatever circumstance you are in, just like David did.